Ruben Amorim was all smiles despite being sacked by Manchester United, at a £30 million cost to the cash-strapped club. The under-fire Portuguese manager, relieved of his duties after clashing with bosses, and wife Maria Joao Diogo were seen walking near their rented Cheshire mansion. Sign up for the Man Utd newsletter. Thank you. A smiling Amorim and wife Maria Joao Diogo were seen walking near their rented Cheshire mansion after his sackingCredit. Eamonn James Clarke. Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe consoles Amorim after loss in 2025 Europa League FinalCredit, Alamy. Amorim was defiant at his final press conference before being relieved of his dutiesCredit, Sky Sport News. The 40-year-old manager has received £7.5 million in wages since he was given a 3-year deal in November 2024 and can expect a payout of around £12 million to cover the remainder. That means Portuguese Amorim will have pocketed around £20 million for 14 months' work. And to hire him, the Red Devils' minority shareholder Sir Jim Ratcliffe sanctioned a release payment of £9.25 million to Amorim's previous club Sporting Lisbon, taking the cost of his reign to almost £30 million. United will also have to pay up the remaining contracts for Amorim's 6 backroom staff. Read more on Ruben Amorim. A source at the club said, Sir Jim will grimace while writing the checks. Amorim was summoned to a meeting at United's Carrington training ground yesterday and relieved of his duties, after making a thinly veiled, "back me or sack me" warning on Sunday. Hours later, he and wife Maria Joao Diogo were seen beaming as they left their rented Cheshire mansion for a walk. One onlooker said, Amorim looked very happy, but then so would anyone if they'd just been paid millions to leave their job. Most read in football. His pride will be hurt, but his wallet won't be. The move comes after Sir Jim, 73, claimed the Old Trafford club faced going bankrupt unless he implemented a host of cost-cutting measures, angering staff and fans. Hundreds of workers were made redundant after Sir Jim put a red line through United spending and demanded tighter cost control. Free staff lunches have been cut back while a gift voucher for Steward of the Week was stopped. In December, the club reported an operating profit of £13.3 million in the first financial quarter, compared to a £6.9 million loss in the same period a year ago. Amorim's sacking also comes less than 3 months after Ineos billionaire Sir Jim gave him his full support. In October, when asked about struggling Amorim's future, Sir Jim said, Ruben needs to demonstrate he's a great coach over 3 years. That's where I would be. You can't run a club like Manchester United on knee-jerk reactions. The club source said, Sir Jim has attracted an awful lot of criticism for demanding that his team go through every department with a fine-toothed comb to find any overspend or any way of saving any money. He was adamant that spending off the pitch needed to decrease so the club had more cash for players to restore success on the pitch. He takes no joy in getting rid of the manager, and will be frustrated that it has cost so much. But he does think it's the right thing to do. United defender Harry Maguire posted a picture of him shaking hands with Amorim and wrote, "Thank you for everything, boss." I wish you all the best in the future. Timeline of misery, that LED to the boot. November 1, 2024. Ruben Amorim appointed United head coach on £6.5 million a year until June 2027. November 24, 2024. He tells fans, "We are going to suffer for a long period," after a 1-1 draw to Ipswich in his first game. December 15, 2024. Amorim drops Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho for his first derby against Man City. United win 2-1. December 28, 2024. Club is branded Man United after Sir Jim Ratcliffe cuts funding to former players' charity. December 30, 2024. Amorim says United face a relegation battle after losing to Newcastle United. January 19, 2025. He calls players, "maybe the worst team in the history of Manchester United," after 3-1 loss to Brighton. March 2025. Sir Jim Ratcliffe tells how Amorim tells him to F*** off whenever he tries to give him football advice, adding, "I think he's doing a great job." May 2025. United lose Europa League final to Spurs and finish 15th in the Premier League. August 27, 2025. United lose on penalties in the EFL Cup to League Two side Grimsby after a 2-2 draw. Amorim is mocked for getting his tactics board out mid-game and says later, "Sometimes I hate my players." October 2025. Sir Jim Ratcliffe backs Amorim saying, "You can't run a club like Manchester United on knee-jerk reactions." December 30, 2025. United booed off after a 1-1 draw against Wolves at Old Trafford. January 1, 2026. United's leadership team meet to discuss Amorim's future. After a fiery meeting between Amorim and Director of Football Jason Wilcox the next day, they decide to sack him. January 4, 2026. Amorim gives explosive press conference and urges Wilcox and United's recruitment team to do their job. January 5, 2026. United announce that Amorim has left the club, but Argentinian Alejandro Garnacho, who left for Chelsea in the summer after falling out with the boss, simply liked a tweet about the sacking. Amorim's warning on Sunday came during an explosive press conference after United's drab 1-1 draw with Leeds. He told reporters, "I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not the coach. And every department, the scouting department, the sport director, needs to do their job. I will do mine for 18 months and then we move on." Ruben Amorim's Manchester United sacking could come at a £30 million cost to the cash-strapped club credit. Eamonn James Clarke. Amorim giving instructions to club captain Bruno Fernandes credit. Alamy. Yesterday it emerged Amorim blew up when United's director of football Jason Wilcox encouraged him to consider changing his tactical system after a disappointing draw with Premier League whipping boys Wolves on December 30. Sources said Amorim had been encouraged to play a more attacking style of football, but regarded this as interference. Old Trafford Chiefs were left believing their relationship with Amorim was beyond repair. The club announced his sacking in a statement just after 10 a.m. yesterday. It read, "Ruben Amorim has departed his role as head coach of Manchester United. Ruben was appointed in November 2024 and led the team to a Europa League final in Bilbao in May. With Manchester United sitting sixth in the Premier League, the club's leadership has reluctantly made the decision that it is the right time to make a change. This will give the team the best opportunity of the highest possible Premier League finish. The club would like to thank Ruben for his contribution to the club and wishes him well for the future. United under-18s coach and ex-player Darren Fletcher will take charge for the Premier League game against Burnley tomorrow. He will be their 11th manager, including caretakers and interims, since club legend Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013. Amorim arrives at Old Trafford in 2024 credit. Getty. Fan Dan Krebs said, Amorim is the only winner in the whole debacle. Fellow supporter Matt Hughes added, he was begging to be sacked, can't say I blame him. Back to sunny Portugal with millions in his pocket. Amorim's Dutch predecessor Erik ten Hag cost United a fortune too. Last February, financial documents revealed the club paid a compensation bill of £14.5 million to him, his coaching team and former sporting director Dan Ashworth. Ten Hag was fired 4 months after being handed a new contract. United had also paid Newcastle millions to get hold of Ashworth, who left after 5 months. Recommended stories. Theatre of memes. Within minutes of Ruben Amorim's sacking, the internet exploded with memes, with references to ex-England boss Sam Allardyce, US President Donald Trump and United's Carabao Cup defeat against Grimsby last year all doing the rounds. United crest on Big Sam's coat. Post Grimsby Amorim meme. Trump will make United great again.